I'm Lisa Raleigh, and this is your wake-up call. Keep it real, powered by Ned Group Life. Let's make it happen. Today on Keep It Real, we're going to show you how anything is possible and that you can achieve your dreams if you put your head to it. And I'm chatting today to Stuart Hoy, igniter and personal coach. So Stu, where were you long before you decided to do Ironman?
Well, in 2008, I found myself in a unique position. I was balding, now bald, single, suddenly single, alone, lonely. I was living in Cape Town. I had a great job with the fantastic magazine. But the reality was that I needed more out of it. For me at that stage, it really became about trying to find a way to prove to myself that I was worthy and that I was a man. So I found this thing called Ironman that was way bigger than anything that I could ever imagine. And that's where it started. But at 97 kilos and balding, it's a very long journey.
So had you ever cycled or run anything before?
I'd been the sort of weekend gym bunny. I was the guy with the Dick Wheeler that was riding the 94.7 in the August. That was me. I'd done a sort of a 5-10K run before. That's where it started, and you realize that it's like how do you eat an elephant? It's just one bite at a time. And I found that the process really was about believing in myself. And once I took a step, confidence becomes confidence, and I found that suddenly I was able to do things. So the next step really after that was going, I went online, I decided I was going to do a marathon, and I googled what the best marathon to do, and the one that came up was London, and I went click, and then I went buy a ticket, click, and I found myself with a return ticket to London and an entry.
So what did it feel like when you crossed that line?
I was sore, I was bleeding, and it was horrible. I was hungover, and it was terrible. So, but at that stage it really meant that I could believe in myself, which is not something that I'd done before. And that's the most powerful moment in anyone's life, when they turn around and go, well, I can do this. And at the end of the day, I am just an average guy who's gone out and done this thing. And people look at me and they go, you're not average, you inspire people. And I go, well, thank you.
But I was average before.
Absolutely.
And fit and overweight and down and out.
Sure, and you start changing things, your diet.
So how did that change?
Drastically. I mean, from hamburgers and pizzas and everything to 6 meals a day, controlled protein intakes and so on. And you also realize that your body is a furnace, and you put rubbish in it. You're going to get rubbish out. And I think probably the biggest change for me was that I was one of the boys. So it was beers and pizzas and hamburgers, and that'll
definitely set you back.
I became regimented. I had the worst personal trainer in the world you could ever imagine. It was me. I wouldn't stop for a single breath for anything. I trained so hard and pushed so much through it that only afterwards your body relaxes and you start getting injuries. It's a proper experience. I mean, it's amazing. It changes your life.
So you call yourself an igniter. What does that mean?
Well, I sit between being a performance coach and a gym instructor. So I spend time with people, looking at where their lives are and how they'd like to change them, and then getting them to a point where they're unreasonable, where they no longer have a reason. Because most of the time in our lives, the things that tend to stop us from doing something is ourselves. We have these preconceived ideas of what is and what isn't, and what we could and can't, and where we're brought up, and how these things all package together.
The limits are already in your own head.
Absolutely. And then only when you start questioning them and you start going, well, hold on, I can do this. I can be bigger than I am already. I can take this step. And you'll find that everyone has their own little space that suddenly it clicks and something changes. And for me, it was that marathon. And once you start that ignition process and people realize that there's two paths, the one is a very physical path, lose weight, get off the couch. The other one is a very emotive, spiritual path. You start realizing that once you've done your first marathon, you go, hold on, I can do this. Yeah, absolutely, anything's possible. And the race is no longer with other people around you, it's a race with yourself.
So challenging yourself.
We have this one magical life of ours, and what are you doing with it? That's really the question. And everyone, it touches everyone. It's not just about doing an Ironman. It has been for me, and everyone has their own Ironman.
And now for today's financial savvy tip. Focus on diversification, spreading your risk over different types of investments, thereby minimizing your risk exposure. To find out more about today's show and our featured experts and the chance to win awesome daily and weekly prizes, log on to keepitreal.co.za. So it's never too late. It's time for you to start making your bucket list and start facing your fears. This is Lisa Raleigh from Keep It Real. See you next time. Keep It Real, brought to you by Ned Group Life. Let's make it happen.